Your intention, O Muslim, remember at all times, is not to study this to boast. It's not to study this to say, I have this certificate and I'm better than you. It's not to put it over someone that I know mustalah al-hadith, I know what these words mean, therefore I'm a better Muslim than you. And you would find some people would do this. The first moment you say, I follow the Quran and Sunnah, they would say, oh, you follow the Quran and Sunnah? They would ask you, what is a Hasan hadith? What does it mean when it's Hasan li ghayri? What does it mean? And you can't answer, so therefore what you're saying is now false, that you have to follow their way, you have to blindly follow them because he knows some words that you don't. And this is again a type of arrogance that a person would do. We shouldn't assume that just because someone lacks some knowledge that he lacks fiqh. Because how many people with knowledge are misled? I promise you, if you were to go to Qum in Iran, you would find that they're so-called scholars. Of course, they're like donkeys carrying books because their knowledge doesn't benefit them. They will know more Quran than you. They will know more hadith than you, more Arabic than you. They will quote all of the legal maxims that you don't know, but they're still outside the fold of Islam. Does it benefit them? No. This isn't to say that you should not increase your knowledge as a Muslim. Yes, learn. Yes, increase your knowledge. Yes, this is a religion that commands you to understand the revelation of Allah. But at the same time, don't think that it guarantees you a place in Jannah. For the Prophet ﷺ told us that one of the first people to enter the fire would be an alim, a scholar. Why? Because the scholar, the knowledge that he had was not from sincerity. It was done to boast to the people. So to the mujahid who fought not for the sake of Allah, but so that the people could say he's a brave fighter. Or the reciter of the Quran who recited for the pleasure of the people so they could say what a beautiful voice he has. Remember in the end, O Muslim, yes, we want to make sure that the path we are on is straight. We agree that the Quran and Sunnah are the only sources of legislation that we have. But will it benefit you if you know that, but don't implement them? Of course not. Rather understand that this path before us is not a path that we walk on with pride to make fun of the others on different paths. We don't sit around spending all of our time making fun of and refuting those who are astray. No, rather we call them to follow the right way, but we focus on ourselves. For this path is a path that if you follow it all the way, it leads you to Jannah. If you follow the commands of Allah and the commands of the Prophet ﷺ, it will lead you to paradise. If you do not make it along this path, what is the point of belonging to the people of that path to begin with? What is the point of sitting on that path and saying, how great am I for I am on this path, if you don't follow it? Understand therefore, O Muslim, that your madhab, your aim, your understanding is so that you can fear Allah. There's a beautiful saying of one of the Sahaba where he asked about the meaning of taqwa, what it was. And the other Sahaba, he said, have you ever walked along a path and on that path there were sharp thorns so that if you would stand on them, you would harm yourself? He said, yes. So he said, how were you when you were on that path? He said, I rolled up my sleeves and grabbed my garment and I was very careful as to where I stood, making sure that he would not stand on something that would harm him. And he said, this is the meaning of taqwa. That you have that path before you. Again, this is the path which is your life. The things that would harm you are the things which Allah has forbidden. So we want to know our religion, to know what is haram and halal, to make sure that we can understand what we stay away from and we're careful in doing so. Then we continue on there, and when we refrain from that which Allah has forbidden, this is taqwa, this is fear of Allah. And without taqwa, O Muslim, it won't benefit you. What's the point of knowing halal and haram when you live in haram anyway? Understand that the purpose of our life is to worship Allah, to earn His mercy, to be content with the remembrance of Allah so that we would enter Jannah.